What is the best financial decision you've ever made?
Probably my first investment property.
Okay. Tell us about it. How was it?
It was kind of a unreal scenario where it's like, of course this happens, and you're kind of questioning yourself the whole time. How's it gonna happen?
How old were you when this happened?
19.
Okay.
I was 19 with the $750,000 house.
Antonio, thank you so much for coming. Truly appreciate the support to the Moneymalistic channel.
Of course.
So how old are you?
20.
20. And where are you from?
I'm from Sarita.
Oh, you're a native.
Yeah.
How long have you been living in Arizona?
20 years.
20 years. So now, what is your favorite thing about Arizona?
That desert landscape.
Yeah.
Those mountains with the cactuses, beautiful. I love that.
Do you have like a favorite spot?
You know what? Up north where I live, like that Mummy Mountain area in Paradise Valley, beautiful.
That's beautiful.
It's so pretty.
That's good, man. So what do you do for a living?
I work in real estate and investments.
And investments. Wow. How long have you been doing that for?
Investing since I was probably 16, and real estate since 18, 19, so 2 years.
Can you walk us maybe through like how is one day in your life doing what you do?
Wake up at around 5 in the morning, cold shower, get ready, get my shit going. Oh, is it okay if I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to be sure. Get the ball rolling, hit a quick stock trade. Usually I try and be out of the market by about 7.
Okay.
So 30 minutes is all I want to spend. If I'm spending more, I'm doing something wrong. So within that 30 minutes, I try and shoot for a 2.5% gain every day. So after that, I roll to the gym, drink a coconut water, read the daily laws before I go, get some pre-workout in, get a nice little workout in, and then get over to the world.
And then you get the pump too.
Oh yeah.
Now, what social class were you growing up?
Middle class.
Middle class. What were some of the challenges growing up as middle class?
I think not having access to things that I wanted,
Okay. What are some of the things that you really, really wanted?
like a Lambo for my first car. Like as terrible and stuck up as a challenge as that sounds, like that's the generation we kind of grew up in. Like that's what we were being fed on Instagram. Like that's what we saw. We're like, oh my God, this guy got a Lambo for the first car. And I'm like, I want one. Which I mean, I'm thankful that I didn't get those things handed to me. Seriously. Like now that I've worked, I'm like, thank God I didn't have that stuff handed to me.
Nice. As you were middle class, like what were your parents doing back then?
They worked in real estate. They still work in real estate. They own a business now.
Wow. That's great. And I guess like, the market fluctuates little by little, depending on the year. Which one has been like the most difficult era?
That '08 time, '08 to probably like 2011. And I was about 5.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, we didn't really, growing up back then, the challenge is it was like, oh, we couldn't get a toy because mom and dad didn't have money. And it was crazy because, I mean, it was '08. Like everyone had money. And then going from, I think my parents had like 13 houses, something crazy. And they burned through like 500 grand just trying to save them because no one knew what was going on. But, we lost everything.
However, at the end,
We made it back.
yeah, that's good.
We made it back.
Did that teach you anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I mean, it teaches you resilience. It teaches you how you need to get done no matter what. Figure out how to still stay alive and still overcome your challenges. And there's no excuse.
Yeah,
That was a big thing.
definitely. You're right. There's no excuse other than, just to like remove that dust and then you just keep going.
Just get up, get it done.
Now, would your family talk about money in general?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. We always talked about money, whether it be how to make money, how to grow the business, whatever it may be. That's pretty much what we talked about.
So there was not such a thing as taboo, like, oh, like how much is this? Oh, don't worry about it. It was more about like, hey, do you want it? What do you need to do in order to get it?
Yeah, it was more that. It was definitely a lot of that. And it was definitely a lot of, nothing was really handed to me, which seems kind of contradicting, right? Because I mean, I did get a pretty sick Audi for my second car and I had an Audi for my first car, but it's because, oh, my grades were great. Oh, I graduated high school with a high GPA. Oh, I'm going to, this good college. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. So it was never just your grades suck, whatever. Here, have this. It was, okay, everything checks out. So you get this.
It was always like you have to perform in order
Yeah.
to get.
You had to perform.
Was there anything that that made you want a Lambo? Like you were saying, any inspiration growing up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My parents, they would take me to this thing called Gold Rush Rally. And I was like 12. And I like dragged him to Vegas. I was like, Mom, Dad, we got to go. Come on. And it's just like 100 Ferraris, Lambos, and all that stuff. And just like driving across the country. And like just seeing that when you're like 12, you're like, dude, I got it. I got to figure. I was like 14, like trying to figure out, okay, how do I buy a Lambo the next year? Like that was my conversation with my parents. I was like, okay, it's 250 grand. Okay, how much do I need to make per day? Like those were my conversations.
That's cool. Like it got to a point where you were like, in a way, systematic. You were looking at the compound effect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
So now, do you recall your first interaction with money?
It was probably like asking for the PlayStation Network. that was probably my first, like it's $15, like, come on, can I get it?
It was that was a PS4?
Yeah, PS4. Yeah.
That's good. What did you feel like,
Like begging. Like, come on, Mom, please. Like, I really need to play with my friends.
Once you got it, you're like, I'll come get some skins.
Yeah.
What is the best financial advice you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
Use money to make money. That was a big thing. Best financial advice. Use money to make money was huge.
Who gave you that one?
My dad.
Dad. Okay.
That was instilled in me very early. What else? The noise out helped me tremendously, and not listening to what, oh my God, this guy in the news said this. Okay, well, why is this guy in the news saying that, right? Because he might have a vested interest behind something. We don't really know. And if you look at things historically, there's always an underlying interest. People look out for themselves. That's how people work.
So cutting all the negativity.
Yeah.
Focusing on your goals.
Oh, yeah.
How do you figure that one out?
Well, I think that one really hit me later in life. Okay. That one hit me when I kind of tuned everyone out. I kind of just isolated myself and just figured out, okay, who do I want to be? Because right now I'm being someone I'm not. I'm doing, I'm acting recklessly. Like I'm not really doing anything with a plan. Like I'm just kind of acting. And I'm not really living a life I would like to live. Like I'm not looking at myself in the mirror and being happy. That led me to, okay, cut all that stuff out. Figure out who you want to be and do what you got to do to get there.
So the noise was pretty much like people and certain situations, attitudes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Now, what is the worst financial advice you've ever received?
Heard a lot of bad ones. Heard a lot of bad. Probably top tier worst would probably be, go to college and get a job you don't want to get.
Okay.
That was the worst. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. There's a difference.
Okay. Because a lot of people would find it like, contradictory. Because are you currently going to school or?
I am.
Okay.
So I'm currently enrolling online, but also I have so much going on the back end. College is not necessary for me.
What's your major at the time? Right?
Finance.
Finance. Oh, perfect. So it lines up with everything that you're doing right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about going to college and then just getting a normal job? Is something that do you feel like is not the right mindset?
It's not that it's not the right mindset. I think it's wrong if that's not what you want to do.
Okay.
If you go into it knowing that, I don't know what I want to do, but I'm going to get a degree anyways, you end up in this loop and you end up, like stuck, I have to pay student loans. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have mouths to feed. And you don't get out of it. Most people don't.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have a lot of people that like halfway through, they decide to change their major or they graduate and then they realize that, hey, this is not what I expected. Now I have to probably go back or do something.
Yeah.
You already have that chunk of money that you owe.
Yeah. It's rough.
Wow. So now, what is the best financial decision you've ever made?
Probably my first investment property.
Okay. Tell us about it. How was it?
It was kind of a unreal scenario where it's like, of course this happens, and you're kind of questioning yourself the whole time. How's this gonna happen?
How old were you when this happened?
19.
Okay.
I was 19 with the $750,000 house.
Oh my God. You already had your license then.
I'm sorry?
You already had your real estate
Yeah.
license then, your realtor
Yeah.
license. Wow. So how was it? Like you bought it, you decided to hold it, sell it, or
I bought it for a lot less than market value.
how much was it?
I don't want to get into specifics. But there's going to be people watching this. I know you guys.
Okay.
Bought it for a lot less than market value, and I just painted it and redid the bathrooms, and I turned around and flipped it.
Wow.
So it was a pretty good move in 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, it was a total of 3 months from close of escrow to getting rid of it. It was 3 months.
Wow, that's insane. So you probably made what someone makes in like a year or like 2 or 3 years in 3 months. Pretty much. That's pretty cool, man. Is there any other good financial decision?
Yeah, I hit a mean stock trade when I was like 17. It was like $1,200. I turned it into like 4,200. That was the epitome of my life. Like I thought I was rich. Like I was like, I made it. Like I made it. And that kind of, I think having a win like that really set me on trajectory for, okay, this is what I want my life to be. I love wins like that. They truly make me happy. And when you lose, you sit down and you think, why did I lose? What went wrong?
The majority of people lose money. So you making that big chunk, I mean, man, that was, pretty good. Not even decent. It was really, really good.
Well, it's common sense. It's not a hard thing to understand. If you're sitting there, this was during COVID, preface, during COVID. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, an oil company has gone completely down. So it went from like $120 a share to 13. Why is that? Because the world stopped. The world is going to reopen one day. It had to happen. So, you go and you buy a bunch at $13 and you go and sell it at 42. That's common sense.
Did this one take, the previous investment that you did took 3 months for you to get your profit. How about this one? Was it like a longer game, like years or months?
No, I think this one was like 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still really, really good.
At 17?
Man, I just
Bro.
No, yeah. And are you still hitting those numbers consistently, or like is it even better now?
No, now I just try and shoot for that 2.5% because I don't want to over risk myself either.
Okay.
I found that just very precisely.
So you found your limit pretty much. Once you wake up, that's your estimate.
That's my goal.
Is it the same thing? Like, okay, if you get 2.5 positive, let's say that you have, a bad day. Is it the same thing, like a 2.5 negative and then you're done? Or you have like a different way of counting your losses?
It's usually 1.5% loss.
Perfect.
That's usually my threshold.
Okay.
That's what I'm comfortable at. Because I think anymore, that's when I start getting uneasy and that's when I get upset.
Okay.
Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm down this, amount of money. And I like get stressed for the rest of the day. But I'm like, okay, if I lose, this much, it's not the end of the world.
Oh, yeah. You're on your emotional intelligence. You gotta really know where, where to stop.
Oh yeah, 100%. You got to be cautious.
Oh yeah. Now, what is the worst financial decision you've ever made?
I don't know. My last car was pretty bad because when I went and bought my new car, it was, I had to bury like 10 grand in negative equity.
Oh,
That was,
what car was it? The previous one?
it was an Audi S4. Loved it. Thought it was the greatest thing ever. It was quick. It was cool. Sedan, looked cool, made all the pops and bangs. And then started doing a little bit better financially. So you upgrade. So,
What do you get?
I got a M4 competition.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think that's one of the best purchases I've ever made.
Your M4?
Yeah.
But then the worst one was that you traded a vehicle.
Yeah, trading it because just the amount of negative equity I had to write off, I was like, oh.
Any other one that comes to mind as a worst financial decision?
Probably trading crypto that I didn't understand, and then listening to, Scott Disick, and thinking, oh, this guy, has my best interest, bro. I think in total I lost like $1,400. which is not the end of the world, but still, I mean, $1,400 that I could have saved or used to grow a little bit more.
On that trade, what was the biggest lesson learned?
Don't trust anyone.
Okay.
Seriously, don't. If you're listening to someone tell you, if they're posted up in a Lambo, that's probably the last person you should be listening to, legitimately. If they're telling you, buy my course and I will teach you how to get rich, they're making Lambo payments off people buying the course. They're not making it off the money they made.
All right.
So that's a big thing that I've learned.
I mean, those two bad or like worst financial decisions are not that bad. You got something out of them.
Yeah.
But I guess that as of now, you already.
Yeah. Well, you learn.
Yeah.
You learn. Seriously. I mean, I don't think I've had any big major financial problems. Also, because I'm young, right? I'm 20. I'm not saying in the future I won't have any, and renting too.
Oh, renting.
Yeah, rent kills me, but also it's a trade-off, right? I get to live in the coolest part of the state, and I have the freedom to just pick up and say, you know what? I'm done. I can move to this place. You know what? I'm done. I can move to that place. So I don't mind it.
What would you describe as your top 3 financial goals?
Billionaire by 30.
Billionaire by 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the current goal. Top 3. That's kind of a tough one because I think like right now with what I'm trying to do, that's all that has my focus. That's all that I'm focused on. It's okay. How do I do this? How do I build this? And step by step by step.
That's good. You have a plan and you're actually executing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what you got to do. It's not going to wake up and, cool. I made it.
No, yeah. A lot of people, come up with great ideas.
Yeah.
But they never take the first step.
Most people don't. Most people live in that constant, just kind of la-la land that maybe one day it'll happen. Bro, it's not one day. It's today. Like, you need to get things done. It's that simple.
There's not a perfect day.
No, there's not. Because I can wake up tomorrow and, roll over and die. As sad of a truth as it is, dude, you got to live every day like it's your last.
Definitely. Now, how would you describe your relationship with money?
Healthy.
Healthy. Okay.
It's pretty good.
And are you comfortable with your current financial situation?
Definitely wish it was better.
Okay. In what way?
I wish I had a little bit more freedom.
Time-wise or?
Both. Time-wise and
decision-wise.
Decision-wise. Okay. Like I wish I was at the point where I can just say, okay, you know what? I want to go and take off to Europe for a month. But I can't really do that because, I have people I got to take care of. I got things that I have to do.
So you're still touring your business in a way.
Yeah.
You're not to the point where you can actually delegate a certain task, or maybe, yeah, but still you want to.
I prefer doing things myself. Okay. That's the biggest thing too, because I know if I handle it, everything will be fine. And I don't have that lingering feeling of, well, maybe they mess it up. So that's why I tend to be very just on the ball, very independent.
So would you consider yourself a detail-oriented individual, making sure that everything
has to be on point. Everything. I don't let a lot of things slide.
If you could go back in time and change one financial decision, which one would it be and why?
Probably blowing a lot of stock money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was when I first moved, I spent a lot of money on stupid things that I probably didn't need, like shoes and stuff, and I'm kind of dumb. But what happens?
Do you still have them?
Yeah.
You still wear them or not? They're
occasionally, every once in a while, you got to throw them out. But besides that, yeah, not very many big financial, if there were things that I wish I could do again, I would, without a doubt, just go and invest every single penny I had. I would, not buy a car, not do anything, invest all of it with all the knowledge I have now. It wouldn't be a problem.
Let's say that you're starting high school and you had, a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Where would you put it? What would be your ideal investment?
I think right now we have a lot of changing market space. And I think politically wise, there's a very big unknown. And it's very scary for a lot of people because we really don't know what's going to happen. So I would probably wait a little bit. Unless you really know what you're doing. The other thing too is you're not going to outperform big companies like BlackRock and Vanguard. You will never outperform them. Well, you might. That's a lie. But they have like the pinnacle of technology. And every single move the market makes has already been accounted for. So they know where the market's going to go. They know what's going on. We don't. We like to think we do. But, you know, okay, earnings were up double this quarter. They know that. But we just found it out. So, yeah, I mean, if I was a kid in high school with, I don't know, like 10 grand, I would probably just go and dump it into BlackRock, and I would probably dump 8 and then gamble 2. Not gamble. Take that back. Like just go and play with 2 and see if you can figure it out. Because I think there's a lot of room for growth. I mean, because if you get one options hit off a $2,000 investment, you'll make like 20
A lot of money for sure.
grand. Oh yeah.
So, all right. So we're gonna go over our first dynamic called "Would You Rather." Well, you're gonna
Do it. What we got?
go ahead and grab them.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, go on the whole thing, and then let's see. We're gonna do 5 of those. What number do you?
We got 12.
12.
It's 12 looking like.
Antonio, would you rather marry someone rich who cheats on you once, or someone with no money who is faithful?
No money but faithful. Do you want the reasoning why?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to sound really bad, but I work very hard, so I don't really have to worry about what my partner brings in.
Great.
So it's not like the end of the world. And I would prefer someone who's loyal and helpful than just someone who has money, because that's a pretty empty world.
Definitely, the right partner can take you further. Great. I love that answer, man. All right, let's go. You can just put it to the side if you want, the favorite. All right, let's go over the second question.
What we got? 7.
7. Would you rather never have to worry about money, or never have to worry about
Health. Well, I mean,
That's a tough one.
that is tough because I think they go hand in hand. I think there's no point in having a lot of money if your health sucks.
Sure.
That's my opinion. I've always stood by that. So, but also having extremely good health. I mean, yeah, I guess you could live longer. So probably health. Yeah, I think without a doubt, health. I think health is, it's something that no one really understands until you start doing something about it.
It would be like a cheat day every day.
Yeah. I mean, well, dude, you wouldn't have to worry. You know, you're like, how many carbs are in this? Like, you don't have to worry. You're just like, throw it down. What about the sugar? Yeah. Is there gluten? You know,
Oh, yeah. It would make it easier, definitely.
oh yeah.
Let's go over the third.
25.
Would you rather loan money to your parents but not get the money back, or loan the money to a stranger and get your money back times 2?
Mom, dad, stranger. Money's money.
True, yeah.
Gotta know what.
I mean, in your defense, your parents are doing very, very well based on what you're telling us, that they're realtors. They have their investments.
They do all right.
They would understand.
Yeah. Money's money.
All right, let's go over the fourth one.
Let's see, what do we have? 17.
17. Would you rather have a monthly car payment of $1,000 or have a $1,000 credit card payment for a department store?
$1,000 car payment, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think having a car is so, this is going to sound terrible. You come off so much better when you pull up in a very expensive car. People trust you right off the bat. They look at you different. They respect you. And there's no point in getting out of a mid-level tier car and dressed, you know, in like a full Gucci tracksuit. People are just going to think it's fake. Perception's everything. If you go and hop out of a Rolls Royce and you're wearing a fake Gucci tracksuit, no one's going to notice. And no one's going to question you. But if you do vice versa, people are like, come on, you know. That's my opinion. I mean, I don't know.
There is no right or there is no wrong answer. It's
Yeah.
all perspective. So everything is right and everything is wrong at the same time. So now it's $1,000 payment. What could you get with $1,000? I mean, you could get
M4.
Air
A little bit more, but M4. I mean, entry-level Porsches.
Definitely.
If you're looking at like a Cayman or something like that. M3 BMWs.
Tesla too.
Tesla's a good option.
An Audi.
Audis, great cars, love them. BMWs. What else?
Mercedes, definitely.
Mercedes. Yeah, you can probably swing a used AMG car.
You could definitely get a Corvette too.
Yeah, or the new C8.
Oh, yeah. That one is nice, actually. All right, let's go with the last one then.
5.
5. Would you rather spend $1 million on travel or spend $1 million on a house?
Million on a house.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the memories? Or why do you pick the house?
The house I know will make money. I know I'll make money. So that's not a concern. So, I mean, spending $1 million on travel, that would be a fun time. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, money's money. And like, I'm sure you can have similar experiences. And money doesn't always mean you're going to have the best time.
In your defense, you could also have that house, rent it out, and you could take a trip. So, yeah, good way of looking at it. All right, so now we're going to go over another section called What Do You Think? Similar thing, you're going to go ahead and grab 5 numbers, one at a time, and I'll give you the question.
Let's do it. 24.
24. Should we all have a financial advisor in order to have a better understanding of our money?
No. No, not at all. Financial advisors are salespeople. Whether we want to admit it or not, they're going to push you into something that you don't really understand. And you're at their mercy.
Especially right now, everything is so available.
Yeah.
All the information is...
Everything you want to know, you can learn. So I don't think it's the best idea. I think if you don't have the time to learn and truly do it, maybe, and you have a guy that you truly trust, but they can lose your money and
Nothing is guaranteed.
Yep.
Sure. What is your favorite way of learning?
I like reading a lot and trial and error. Big experience guy.
Yeah.
Big experience guy. I think, it's like touching the stove. When you get burned once, you don't do it again.
All right.
Good though.
All right, let's go with the second one.
Let's see. Number 6.
Number 6. So what do you think? How much does our credit score impact our financial opportunities?
Greatly. Greatly. It shows your ability that a bank trusts you. And everything in this country is built off credit. There are very few people who truly own their homes cash. And there's very few people who own their cars cash. So credit is everything in this country. You know, no matter what anyone tells you, if they say, oh, well, if you can't buy your house cash twice, then they're full of shit. Like, they're lying to your face. So that's my opinion. I think credit score is everything.
What do you think about the individuals that they opt out of credit cards? They rather pay cash or just with a debit card?
I don't blame them because I do understand that as well. But I mean, for the normal individual, if you're not trying to go and, buy like a $5 million house or something like that, your credit standing really isn't the end of the world. But for those people who truly want to leverage their credit to the max, it has to be bulletproof. Has to.
All right, let's go with the third one.
13.
13. What do you think? Is it bad to live paycheck to paycheck?
Okay, this is kind of interesting. I do think it's bad, but not the end of the world. I think if you have a stable job and income, then yeah, it probably is bad that you're living paycheck to paycheck because you can get fired. You can get fired. There's no going around that.
That's the only thing that is
Keeping you alive.
keeping you. Yeah.
And like, what is it? Like 60% of Americans don't have $1,000 to their name. That's pretty scary. But I think if you work in a competitive field, like sales or something like that, living paycheck to paycheck might be what you need to get the next deal. So I think it's definitely an inspiration, especially if you have financial obligations. Not the end of the world. I think for some people it's helpful. Gives them a little kick.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. All right, let's go with the fourth one.
See. 28.
28. What are some pros and cons about reading financial literacy books?
Most people live and breathe by them, and they don't learn for themselves. And just because you read it in a book doesn't mean it's going to equate to real life. That's one thing people don't understand.
Yeah.
And like everyone can go and sit there and read all these crazy books about becoming successful and all this stuff and never amount to anything. And it's like, why is that?
Prior to the interview, we were talking about, financial books and all that. What is your favorite book of all time, and what is something that you've learned from that book specifically that you have actually applied in life?
Think and Grow Rich was huge for me. That one was it. That one helped me, like going back to the tuning out the noise. That one just helped me focus on, this is my goal. I need to get it. And just tuning everything out. I don't need to go out this weekend. I can stay up till 2 a.m, doing this. That's not a problem. I can wake up again at 6 and do what I need to do throughout the day. Just tuning all that stuff out, cutting all the bad influences out, focusing on, this is what I want, so I'm going to get it. That was huge for me. Huge.
Sweet, man. Let's go with the last one. That was a great answer.
Let's see. 11.
11. What are the top 3 financial goals that everyone should have?
Have enough money to travel for a year if you want to pick up and leave your job. I think that's a big one. That I don't think it's impossible. I mean, I think if you save properly and invest, I don't think it's impossible. I really don't, especially if you're young and you don't have kids, maybe cut out Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's $12 a day and you go and you compound it. That's what, 12 times 5,
60.
and you do that for weeks. So you're at 240, go and invest it, 3% return. You're at 2,600 a year. And then plus that 3% or 8%, whatever you invested in. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Knowing the power of the compounding is really, really interesting. It opens your perspective for a lot of things. So you said 2, right? The first one is...
enough money to travel for a year. Enough in emergency money for a year as well. I think that can go hand in hand. Okay. Or even if it's just for a month for traveling, I think that's good. I think if you can truly pick up and say, you know what, I have enough money saved up that it's not the end of the world if I don't go to work this month. I think that's the way to go. A year is a stretch. I take that back. I'm sorry. And last one would probably be, it's not don't live debt free, but don't have stupid debt. Because most people have a lot of stupid debt that's unnecessary.
What do you consider good and bad debt?
I mean, good debt is, having a car. I'm not saying go finance a Ferrari, but finance something, show the bank that you can pay it back. House debt, student loan debt is good in some cases, not the best because it messes with your debt to income ratio and everything. And student loans don't get forgiven in a bankruptcy. Just FYI. So I think that's, it's tough. It's tough.
And finally, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Do you have any final thoughts?
Win. It's pretty much it. Win. Anything you want in life, you can get it. If you truly hold yourself accountable and you work towards it and you give it your all, you'll get it. There's no going around it. And don't wander through life. Don't just live day by day. Nah, bro. Have a purpose. Have some goals. Even everyone thinks, oh my God, I'm 250 pounds. I got to get diced within the next 2 weeks. It's not realistic. If you can figure out how to lose 10 in 2 weeks, then your mind thinks, what can I do in 4? Or at least that's how my works.
Enjoy those small wins.
Yeah. Compound small wins. Compounding small wins gets you so far because you feel great about yourself. Anything I can do, anything. Sweet.
Antonio, thank you so much.
David,
David.
thank you, man.
All righty.
That is a wrap.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please support the channel by subscribing, commenting, and liking the video. The question of the day is the following. Let me know your opinions, thoughts, comments, and constructive criticism in the comment section, and I will see you guys on the next video.